Welcome back to WNJM Radio, and these are your hosts speaking. I'm Brian.
My name is Jeffrey. I'm from the Wild West, and I like chimichangas.
Okay, thanks for that, Jeffrey. Anyways, we have a big problem that we are going to be tackling today.
Whatever could that problem be, Brian?
Stop doing that accent, Jeffrey. Anyways, the problem we are going to be talking about today is mass incarceration.
What's mass incarceration?
Well, mass incarceration is something awful that is happening in the U.S. You may not know this, but America actually has the highest incarceration rate of any country in the world. The government made incarceration our main punishment system in the U.S.
I don't see why that is such a big problem, though. All they're doing is locking up people who did bad things as their punishment. Why should they stop doing that?
While it is true that they are giving people incarceration as their punishment, they should not be doing it for all people. There are plenty of people out there who did not commit very bad crimes at all, but are still being put in prison, just like the people who did commit bad crimes.
So what you're getting at is that instead of incarcerating all of the people who commit crimes and having that be the only punishment that they use, the government should think of some alternative solutions and punishments for people who do not deserve to go to prison, but do deserve some sort of punishment.
That is exactly what I was getting at, Jeffrey. I'm surprised that you, of all people, were able to figure out what I was talking about without me having to explain it.
Why, thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it. That was really nice.
Will you please stop doing that accent? Anyways, we are cutting to a commercial. We will be back after these short messages.
You want to get ripped? You want to be cool? You want to be more ripped and even more cool? Then boy oh boy have I got the place for you. Come on down to Jim's Gym, where you go to the gym. We have many different devices that you can use to get ripped. Treadmills, weights, bikes, you name it, we have it. There's also a pizza restaurant / bar for people to get ripped. Get pizza, get fat, then get ripped all over again. We here at Jim's Gym have a motto. If you're not crying, you're not trying. Jim's Gym, you go to the gym. To talk to our manager, please call the following number, 508-873-1373. I repeat, 508-873-1373.
Have you or a loved one ever been incarcerated? Have you ever needed a good lawyer as soon as possible, but no one would be there on time? We at David's Lawyers are ready to help you on your journey of recovery. We have many lawyers at our disposal, and they are all well-trained therapists and will help you every step of the way. We respond immediately to any calls or emails. You decide when and where to meet. We meet you. From incarceration to tax debt, we can solve your problems. To contact our office, please call 508-713-7357. I repeat, 508-713-7357.
And welcome back to WNJM Radio, and I'm your host, Brian.
And I'm the other host, Jeffrey. I'm from the Wild West.
We know, Jeffrey. You've already said this. Anyway, we left off talking about mass incarceration. I'm now going to start talking about the history of mass incarceration. Around the 1800s, a man named Alexis de Tocqueville came to America.
I think I know who you're talking about. I learned about Alexis de Tocqueville in 9th grade. Wasn't he a famous French diplomat and historian? And didn't he write Democracy in America and the Old Regime and Revolution?
That's exactly right, Jeffrey. He came to young America to study our justice system. Wow, you really know your stuff, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Brian. So, what did Tocqueville exactly study about a justice system?
Well, he looked at how we punished our convicted criminals, and what types of crimes we thought were the worst and least terrible. He found that our justice system was solid, but he saw some flaws that might cause a big problem if not dealt with.
Like slavery, right?
Yes, like slavery. Alexis saw that people who got punished severely for crimes were mostly people who committed violent acts or people from different ethnicities. People were terrible to people that were different back then. They didn't care how bad the crime was. They just wanted the people to be punished because they were different.
Oh, I see why that would be an issue in the future. People would believe that violent crimes and people who were different would immediately need to go to jail.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway, let's move on to some solutions that could be used to stop mass incarceration. First off, I believe that they should have evaluations of the criminal justice system in America. That would definitely help stop the issue.
Yeah, I do think that would help. Oh wait, I thought of another solution that they could use to help stop mass incarceration.
Well, what is it? I think myself and all the other people listening to this broadcast would love to hear it.
I was thinking that they should distinguish between the people in prison who are actually dangerous and the people who are in prison but are actually ready to re-enter society. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's a really great idea, Jeffrey. I'm very confused as to why the government has not come up with any alternatives to incarceration when we already have come up with 2 new solutions.
It is very alarming that the government doesn't seem to care at all about this issue when it could affect them greatly later on down the road.
Yeah, and I also just thought about how there are a lot of people who go to prison because of drug use. I think that maybe they could put a little more money into drug treatment programs around the country. That would help stop a lot of people who do illegal drugs already, while also stopping many people from doing them at all in the future.
Also, if they do ever make a change to the criminal justice system in the country, they should definitely have the change shrink the amount of people who are in prison right now, as well as diminish the amount of people who are locked behind bars in the future for absolutely no reason at all.
These are definitely great ways we can help lessen mass incarceration, and it doesn't have to be just us. Everybody that is listening to this radio broadcast can help stop mass incarceration by raising awareness and telling friends and loved ones facts about this terrible issue.
In fact, I'm going to tell my family about this issue. Mass incarceration can affect and completely destroy families, and I don't want anything like that to happen to my family or anybody that I know. So that is what I'm going to tell them about it.
Oh, you want to invite your family and friends on the show so they can talk about mass incarceration with you?
Well, Brian, you're my only friend, so I can't invite any of my friends. But I can get my family and bring them back here so they can be on the show.
Why don't you call them up right now so we can talk to them live on the show? That would be really cool.
Oh, well, they don't really have any internet, so I wouldn't really be able to do that.
Well, why don't they have internet? I feel like pretty much everyone I know nowadays uses the internet.
Oh, because they live
In the Wild West, same as me, Brian. Didn't you know that?
Alright, that's it. Stop the broadcast. I'm done. Why do you keep doing that stupid accent?
No, wait, Brian, come back. I was just playing. Oh, well, he's gone. I guess that concludes this broadcast featuring yours truly,
Jeffrey.